Hello and welcome back. Hopefully you guys are doing amazing. I'm Darcy from ZDigitizing, which is the world's best custom embroidery digitizing and vector art services provider. As you guys recently asked me to make a video about what thread weights I should use for machine embroidery, here I am. But before we continue, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't and click on the bell icon to get updated about our future important videos. Thread weight is not only a number, it is the thickness of thread that is utilized for sewing. From premium to heaviest, the weights vary from 8 to 40 weights. A lot of factors affect the selection of the optimal machine embroidery threads. These include the type of material, size of the needle, stitch type, and other aspects such as condition and age of the machine. A machine embroidery kit includes different thread weights and bands so that you can find the best embroidery thread for your embroidery machine. Though understanding the basics of thread weights is important to selecting the right one, that is where we can help you. Continue watching this whole video to understand what thread weights you should use for machine embroidery. Embroidery machines generally come with a range of suggested thread weights for the different features. The best way to decide which thread weight you want is to test them out. Selecting the wrong thread weight could result in a badly sewn seams or a machine that won't sew at all. The most common thread types are polyester, nylon, and mercerized cotton threads. Mercerized cotton threads are firm, which makes them ideal for jeans stitching where they must withstand poking by a sharp object such as a needle or pin. Polyester threads are firm, but not as firm as mercerized cotton. Machine embroidery threads are a set of threads, often two strands twisted together. Machine embroidery threads could differ in weight, and there are a lot of different kinds of threads to opt from regular sewing thread, heavy-duty sewing thread, and extra heavy-duty sewing thread. What is thread weight? The measurement of the thickness of a thread is called thread weight. The weight must correspond to the fabric being sewn. The bulkier the fabric, the thicker a thread needs to be. It is significant to select the right thread weight for the type of embroidery machine sewing that you would be performing. If you sew lightweight materials, then use a lighter thread weight. If you sew heavyweight materials, then use a heavy thread weight. It's as simple as that. How can you read the thread weight? When 40 kilometers of a thread weighs 1 kilogram, it is allocated as 40 weight thread. Because it takes only 30 kilometers of thread to weigh 1 kilogram, a 30 weight thread is bulkier. Generally, when you look at the number of thread weights, it would look like 50 over 2 or 40 over 3. The delusion that the thread weight is a fraction is pretty common. Though the thread weight is only the first number, the second number is perhaps the ply of a thread. So if you notice 50 over 2 printed on a cotton thread, it shows that the weight of the thread is 50 and the ply of the thread is 2. In other words, it is a thin and strong cotton thread. It is worth noting that if the ply is 2 or greater, the thread would be pretty strong and would stand up well to normal usage. Types of the thread weight. Normal sewing thread is generally used when utilizing a regular needle or when utilizing decorative stitches like cross-stitching or back-stitching. It is not suggested to use bulkier materials like upholstery material or denim jeans. Instead, heavy sewing threads must be used in these cases. Few machines could use up to 4 thread spools at one time, each with a different weight, generally 2. This means that in total, there are 8 possible combinations of thread weights to select from. 40 weight thread or 60 weight thread. Which should you choose? Threads are often available in a range of thread weights, the most common being 40 weight thread, followed by the finer and lighter 60 weight. 40 weight threads must be your go-to thread for usual needlework. Use a 60 weight thread when creating designs with fine details. When a design demands small text or fragile details, select traditional rayon number 60 or poly neon number 60 threads. When stitching with a 60 weight thread, always use a 65 needle and raise the density. 40 weight thread. If you want a glossy embroidery thread, a 40 weight thread would be your best choice. But there are some machine embroidery tasks for which a 40 weight thread is not the best choice. The most common substitutes for 40 weight threads are polyester and rayon. Formerly, rayon was thought to be the finest choice as it provided more shine and color choices. On the contrary, it is not as strong, would break quickly during stitching, and would not hold up to normal laundering. Though the polyester thread has continued to grow in terms of color choices and shine and now offers almost as much range as the rayon thread. For professional sewers who work on embroidery projects, this has made it the go-to thread for machine embroidery tasks. 50 weight threads. The most common thread utilized by most sewers is 50 weight threads. Cotton polyester or polyester combination is most widely used. They are suitable for a vast variety of sewing projects and are pretty reliable. But there is more to the story than that. There are 50 weight threads, all-purpose and high-quality 50 weight cotton quilting threads to select from. However, neither would disappoint you when it comes to stitching into quilts or clothing. The end result would be more amazing, specifically for quilting projects. This is because of the high-quality 50 weight threads, which are thin and flexible, enabling you to piece a quilt together without bulking the seam, resulting in amazing results while working on quilting tasks. These threads, on the contrary, are amazing for hand applique, hand piecing, and machine quilting. Atypical thread weights information. 12 to 18 weight threads. The 12 to 18 weight threads are not vastly used, but they have a specific function. They are a must-have for sewers who do a lot of top stitching and hand stitching work. When working on sewing projects that need hand quilting or hand embroidery, the 12 to 18 weight thread is the best choice. It would not fail you when it comes to top stitching denim material. 28 weight threads. This thread is utilized for hand quilting and hand stitching tasks as a substitute for the 12 to 18 weight threads. It could be more reliable for sewers who prefer not to use a heavy weight thread for hand stitching projects. 60 weight bobbin threads. 60 weight bobbin threads are the very thin and strong thread that is used in the bobbin for embroidery projects that do not need the back of the project to be seen. Thread weights in digitizing. The majority of digitized designs are made with 40 weight thread. This assures enough embroidery coverage. When utilizing a 30 weight thread, the bigger width of the thread might give a lumpy look or cause the thread to bind on itself, jamming the machine or breaking the thread. Lessen the density by 1/3 or extend the design size by 125% of the original to cure this. Extending the stitch length would as well be advantageous. Wrapping up, selecting the right thread for embroidery is essential as it would affect the quality of the product. The thread weight would decide how easily it could be threaded through a needle and how fast it would break if extreme tension is applied. The material and project you are embroidering will decide what thread weight would be finest. The most commonly used thread weights for machine embroidery are 40 weight thread cotton, 60 weight thread cotton, and 100 weight thread cotton. We hope this video will be helpful for you. If you want to digitize embroidery designs, you would need a professional like ZDigitizing, as digitizing is a complex process. ZDigitizing is a digitizing embroidery company that provides complete digitizing and vector art services all over the world to businesses, industries, and corporations. ZDigitizing provides high-class, durable, and reasonable custom digitizing embroidery and vector art services. We have been delivering top-notch digitizing embroidery services for 20 plus years. So if you need a digitizing or vector art service for your embroidery machine with a super fast turnaround and excellent quality, ZD will be your best choice. Just click the link below and get a free quote in less than 5 minutes. Hope it will be helpful for you guys. If there's any questions related to this video, you can simply ask in the comment section. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And finally, thanks for watching.